This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather Ho, there's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. There is no on this day because, quite frankly, February 13th will be boring. Unless the Super Bowl today provides some insight, then February 13th will be a dead day, if you will. However, the birthday boy is not dead, obviously, but he is a legend. A sports icon in Sweden and Canada, in a sense. He turns 51 today. He played his first 4 years with Quebec before being traded to the Leafs in '94, and then he spent 1 year with Vancouver and retired. It's amazing. He was a legendary player in Leafs history. He is the Leafs' all-time leader in goals and points. System surprised he isn't, but anyway. Mats Sundin is an icon. And I hear on Sweden winning gold medals for them at the World Championships. And he got into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2012. So anyway, Mats Sundin was picked for the first overall pick in 1989 by the Quebec Nordiques. Quebec needed somebody, and Sundin was huge. And in fact, it made Sundin the first European to be number 1 overall. Yeah, there were a lot of Swedes that played in the NHL, including his idol, Borje Salming. But Sundin never had the opportunity, well, they didn't have an opportunity to be that good of a player. Now the question on everyone's lips is, was that the right move for Quebec? Well, considering that the next 3 were busts, I mean, the others went with Dave Shaselski. Really? Toronto went with Scott Forden of the Belleville Bulls with their number 3 pick. Can you imagine? And Winnipeg went with Stu Barnes. Okay, Stu Barnes was okay, but only for Buffalo. And then the Devils took Bill Guerin. So yeah, I think that was a good pick. When you look at the top 10, only Sundin, Guerin, and Holik made much of a difference. So yeah, I think it was the right idea, the right move. He would play in Sweden's Elite Series, that's their top tier for Djurgården. He would make his debut for Quebec in the 1991 season, actually finishing second on the team in points behind Joe Sakic. He was a good rookie, and his first NHL game was against the Hartford Whalers, and he scored his first goal. Sundin would not win Rookie of the Year. It would be Sergei Fedorov and Ed Belfour who would help him in that regard. Anyway, Sundin would improve to 76 points in his second season, and then in '93 he had 114 points, having Quebec take second in the division and having home ice in their series against the Canadiens. Sadly for Quebec, they floundered as Montreal won that series. He looked pretty good, but then, shockingly, he was traded to the Leafs. More shockingly is that the Leafs traded their heart and soul and captain, Wendell Clark, to Quebec. So the trade was Sundin, Garth Butcher, Todd Warner, and a first-round pick, which the Leafs would trade to Washington for them to get Nolan Baumgartner to Toronto for Wendell Clark, Sylvain Lefebvre, Landon Wilson, and a first-round pick, who Quebec used for Jeff Keelty. Who? Exactly. So yeah, it was basically Sundin for Clark. I mean, Garth Butcher was okay, but after he left St. Louis, he was just crumpled up. Todd Warner was okay for the Leafs when they needed him. Sundin would make a impact for the Leafs. Of course, the '95 season was the lockout season, which he only played 48 games. Anyway, Sundin, in his 3rd season with the Leafs, would put up 94 points. He was named captain of the Leafs after the '97 season when Doug Gilmour was traded to the Devils, the first European captain in Leafs history. So he looked good, helping the Leafs get to the '99 Stanley Cup semifinals, or conference finals, if you will. But Buffalo took him out in 5 games, despite the fact the Leafs were favored to win that series. Sundin scored 16 points in 17 games. Sundin would be injury prone and wasn't really around for all the 2002 playoffs when the Leafs made that nice run that ended up sour against Carolina. So anyway, in 2004, Matt Sundin broke a stick on his attempted shot. Sundin threw it away in disgust and landed in the crowd. Sundin was given a 1-game suspension. The fan wasn't hurt. Like, he got the stick. Unfortunately, the 1-game suspension happened when the Senators were in town, and Daniel Alfredson would poke fun at Matt Sundin by pretending to throw the stick in the crowd. Sundin would actually spend the 2005 season inactive while the NHL had that lockout, but he didn't even play in Sweden or anywhere else. Sundin would miss a month of action because of an orbital bone injury. However, October 14, 2006, which was a famous day in sports history because that was the day Detroit and Miguel Ordonez walked off the Oakland A's to get to the World Series. But then again, Matt Sundin had a chance to reach 500 goals. He scored 2. He was at 499. Overtime came by shorthanded, 2-on-1, a hat trick, and an overtime. Matt Sundin scored to go over Mika Kiprusoff's shoulder. 5-4 Leafs win. Anyway, Sundin would break Darryl Sittler's record for points by a Leaf on October 11th, 2007. And he also, in the same game, he also scored his 390th goal to make Leaf history as the top goal scorer. At the end of the game, he was given all 3 stars. Kind of awkward, don't you think? Anyway, Sundin was rumored to leave the Leafs and all that. And Sundin refused to because he didn't want to be a rental player. And that if he won the Stanley Cup, he wanted to do it against an entire season. Sundin was given a free agent, was a free agent July 1st, 2008. Vancouver actually offered him a 2-year, $20 million contract. Vancouver surprisingly didn't use the Sundins to try to get Mats to everything. Rangers, Habs, and Leafs also made contract offers, but Sundin chose to hold out, thinking he might retire. But he actually wanted to sign, so he had either the Rangers or Canucks in line. But the Canucks got him, so Sundin got a $5 million deal. All that. Chris Sundin came February 21st, 2009 to play the Leafs at the ACC, and it was emotional. All that. Very emotional. Sundin would be the hero of the day, scoring the shootout goal to beat the Leafs. Sundin didn't really play that much. He got 8 points in 8 playoff games. But after the 2009 season, he decided, screw it, I'm retiring. And he did. In February 2012, his number 13 number was honored, but not retired. However, in 2016, the Leafs decided to have all their honored numbers be retired and all that. It was amazing to see that. Matt Sundin has a statue outside the Air Canada Centre. He was elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2012 and in the IIHF Hall of Fame, or the International Hockey Hall of Fame, if you will, in 2013. Sundin would actually be a pretty good player for Sweden, various international competitions. He had credentials. He got 3 World Championships with Sweden, 91, 92, 98, and the gold medal in 2006. However, Sundin actually had controversy in 91 because, he went over to Quebec a year before his Swedish contract was expiring. So the Swedish Ice Hockey Federation said that he was not welcome back to play for the Swedish national team. But then again, they decided to change their minds once Quebec was obviously eliminated from contention in the for the 91 playoffs. They decided, fine, Sundin can play. And Sundin scored the winning goal against the Soviet Union in the 91 title. So all was forgiven. Anyway, the Leafs were there. Anyway, Matt Sundin married his fiancée, Josephine, and they have 3 kids, Bonnie, Nathaniel, and Julian. So he does have, let's see, he's 23rd in goals in NHL history, 35th in assists, 28th in points. The first European-born and trained player to be first overall in the NHL draft, that was in 89. Only Swedish player to score 500 goals. Most points in goals by a Swedish player. Fastest overtime goal, 6 seconds, sharing with Alex Ovechkin, Simon Gagne, David Legwand, and Willie Nylander. First Swede to get 1,000 points. And one of 3 players to score 20 goals in each of his first 17 seasons. With Marcel Dion and Jaromir Jagr doing that. Not even Gretzky did that. I don't think. And Gretzky lasted 70 years. Wow. Anyway, he has the Leafs record for goals and points. So he's a legend in Toronto land. Anyway, his NHL essential stats: 564 goals, 1,349 points in 1,346 regular season games. In the playoffs, 82 points in 91 games. So yeah, he was a champion for Sweden. He was a champion for Toronto. You can't just beat that. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.